Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Three Admirals. We're joined today. It's just going to be a duo, two of the three, me and Josh. And we're excited for chapter 998, Ancient Zoans. Amongst the three admirals, there's a lot of debate about the Zoan fruits and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But this episode is brought to you by House of Otaku. Go over there to check with all your anime needs, and also check up on all our other episodes. And if you like this video, subscribe, and we are gonna get started with Josh with the summary.
Thanks, Kevin. That was a great intro. As you guys know, we are missing our third, but he will be back for next week. So it's a little downtime, guys. So just the two of us today. We're gonna hold it down. We're going to jump right into it. Seems as though Oda is giving us a little bit of Eno. It's been quite a long time since we've seen him in the cover story or even on a fan art, so it's nice to see him. Pretty cute cover story. But the meat of the chapter, we kind of pick off where we left off with Kaido lifting the entire island, which is still a crazy feat. And it seems as though Marco's role was to help with the ice Onis. That's something that we kind of discussed a few episodes ago, but it's nice to see that that's finally happening. We're kind of getting through this part. I wasn't too much of a fan. Kevin, how about you?
Of Marco stepping in and helping out?
Yeah, how did you feel about that one?
I love that. I love to see the little brothers being protected, little brother being Chopper by his big bros, Zoro and Brook. So I actually like it. I don't think they cheesed it too much. I think it makes sense that Marco can help slow down the virus. And he's a doctor, so it just fit in perfectly. Why didn't you like it?
To be honest, I'm a little impatient. I'm just trying to get to the meat of it. Not to say this was a bad part of the story or anything like that. Just never really been a big Chopper guy. I like Chopper more so when he's actually fighting, like against the dude from CP9 or even against Miss Merry Christmas. Those were my favorite Chopper moments. But Chopper is coming in clutch. He's gonna save everyone on the first floor. That's his job as a doctor, so that's good to see. Marco, once again, he's basically trying to take a back seat. He's gonna let the young generation take over. He thinks that we actually go to Zoro, Robin, and Brook. He basically says that he understands the situation, and then he wants the Straw Hats to kind of not handle the small fry, but deal with the more noticeable opponents. So probably the Toporopo. So my theory here, Kevin, you can give me your opinions after. I think that Robin is probably going to take over Sanji's fight because Sanji hates spiders and he just cannot hit women. I still think that Brook is going to help Jimbei with Who's Who, which will free Jimbei up to go to the top floor. I still think Jack is there. So I think we're going to get a Jimbei and Jack. I think we're going to get a Brook and Who's Who. And I think we're going to get a Robin and Black Maria, leaving Sanji open for an opponent. I know you think that Drake will probably fight Queen. I'm still on the Queen and Sanji train, which leaves Zoro and King. So each of the Straw Hats have a commander or a Topiropo, and that would be their main fight for this act, most likely. What do you think?
I think, listen, I'm just going to call out what you and our other member Jerome think, because you guys have been talking about Jimbei and Jack this whole time. Fishman racism is what you guys have been doing. You guys want two fishmen to fight against each other. You don't want them to come together. That's all good. That's fishman racism. We know about you guys. I don't think the fishmen are going to fight. I see it something else. What I see, actually, funny enough, I like the Robin Black Maria matchup. I do think that's going to happen. I see also, but what I was thinking more so, and I actually kind of agree, I was seeing more off-screen defeats. So I see Jimbei going off-screen, handling Who's Who.
Okay.
There've been a lot of off-screens. That's why I see. But and I also see probably Sanji going into probably just escaping in his suit form, and probably Black Maria being tricked that way. So I don't see them happening. What I see Oda setting up more, the reason why, is because I see him setting up all the Straw Hats meeting Kaido and Big Mom rather than anything else, and allowing other characters to fight. But that's just me. I could be wrong. But take us away with the next part of the chapter, though.
For sure. I mean, that was a great opinion. It just left to be seen, of course, and hopefully we'll get answers next week. So we get a little bit of Sanji love. It seems as though even Luffy has to admit that his observation hockey isn't as good as Sanji's. I mean, I think we all knew that, just given that he was able to dodge Katakuri.
No, I think it was some trolling as a Sanji fan.
You think it was trolling? Interesting.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
when they were talking about it, listen, I think when they were talking about it, and he was like, my observation, he was like, Black Maria is such a non-factor. I did not even see it, and Sanji got trolled. But that's my opinion. But if you want to give Sanji that respect, do it, because we can see that Zoro didn't really knock out anybody in the last chapter. Although all the Zoro fans don't come at me, it's just facts. So it took full beast mode Drake to finally finish him off. But take it away, Josh. Take it away.
For sure. So Apu was not out for the count. He was able to get up. Seems to be very concerned about losing that antidote, because we do know that, well, my whole theory is that Queen basically has been saying for the last couple chapters, if Apu ends up losing it, then he's useless. And even he tried to take Apu out last week. So it seems as though betrayal is obviously something that's huge within the Beast Pirates, and Apu seems to be getting kicked to the curb. That might open him up for a potential temporary alliance. I don't know if Kid would even want to work with him to take down Kaido, but as you were saying, we got Drake's full form, and this is one of the few times I'm seeing his I don't think that's his normal form that we've seen. Maybe I could be tripping. It just seems a little different. But yeah, props to Drake. Some supernova on supernova action. Seems to finish Apu off. So that's nice. Drake and Zoro get that dub. We cannot give Zoro that full W at this point. But that's okay. That's okay. Moving forward, we get some Frankie and Sasaki. How do you feel about this fight?
Frankie and Sasaki,
yeah.
I actually love it. I really, really actually like it a lot. I find it very interesting that Sasaki's devil fruit is a triceratops, and I think it's just going to be two big machines just going at each other. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen with that one. And I'm just excited for that fight. How do you feel about it?
I love Frankie. I mean, I'm actually a sucker for Straw Hats. I like any sort of Straw Hat action. Like I said earlier, I like Chopper when he's fighting. Frankie's last fight was Senior Pink and Dressrosa. I wasn't too big of a fan of that fight. It was a little bit of a troll.
It was.
And even before that, I cannot really remember. I think he got a little fight in Fishman Island, but this is Frankie's first real fight. And I hope that he is able to use Armored hockey. Do you think that the Straw Hats should all know how to use at least one form of hockey before they fight Blackbeard, or what's your sense on that?
No. I actually personally, maybe unpopular opinion, I don't think Frankie fits within the hockey model. I don't think he's someone who needs that focus. His skill is in terms of using cool technology to beat his opponent. So for me, it'd be weird to see him use hockey. I'd rather see him think of a cool gadget like tracker missiles or something, or missiles that'll pierce a Zoan user. Imagine if someone could think of that. That's Frankie, but that's where my mind's going to.
Okay.
I saw though that on the 4th floor, Jimbei, my dude, that's my real dude, the helmsman of the Straw Hats, went ahead and was having some trouble. And I was like, why are these scrubs giving Jimbei trouble? Found out that it was Who's a crew giving him trouble, so that makes sense. And moreover, it's Who's Who has a saber tooth, devil fruit. Well, how do you feel about Jimbei versus Who's Who?
I do like it. I like it. I like Who's Who. I thought he was a very interesting character of the Flying Six. And there's even more mystery now surrounding him when it seems like he knows Jimbei. Now, I'm going to go back to what you said before, Fishman on Fishman violence.
Racism.
Listen, man.
Oh, what it is, man.
Listen, man. It seems as though, if you remember a few chapters ago, Kaido pointed out Sasaki and Who's Who in particular because they were captains of their own crew before. What if Sasaki is a fishman? What if Who's Who is also a fishman? He even has the lips like Fisher Tiger. What if they were a part of the Sun Pirates, and like Arlong, it was mentioned that they all split up and they each made their own little crews? What if Sasaki as a fishman and Who's Who? What if they were a part of the Sun Pirates, and that's why he knows Jimbei?
Man, that sounds like an alt-right fishman theory. That's like what something those you guys are the alt-right for the fishmen. You got no, sorry, not alt-right. You know who you got are the celestial theories, the
Oh my
celestial
god,
dragon theories. That's the type of stuff that y'all celestials think of. I just don't see it, man. Personally, I just don't see it.
that's
But I
fair.
feel people, I don't, but no, it's a good thing that you pointed up because Who's Who does remember him. So maybe we might see something leading towards that. There's a lot of mystery in this chapter, but we'll get to that towards the end. You want to continue on with Black Maria's Devil Fruit? What were your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I know a lot of people in the community had theorized it. There was a really good theory on Reddit about it. It was very convincing, and sure enough, I mean, I'm not really too big into it. I really don't like seeing Sanji in situations that are unfavorable for him. I just feel as though Oda has consistently always done this to Sanji. It's getting a little old to me. Again, hopefully Robin takes over that fight. Then I would be a bit more interested. But for now, I'm not really into this whole spider fruit. But it is interesting enough to see that the Straw Hats are, for each of their opponents, they are fighting the Topi Robo and their accomplices too. So it's not really just a one-on-one. It seems like it's a one on 5, 1-on-10. So I actually like that. It's kind of showing how strong each of the Straw Hats are individually. Get a little bit of ulti in page 1. Again, I'm not too big onto that one. It seems like Nami and Usopp will probably have to regroup, come with a plan now that they have Tama on their side. It might be a bit easier. So I mean, I guess the biggest mystery moving into the end of this chapter here, Kevin, is just that we finally learn what Ace did on Wano. We never got any information about it, but now we've learned that Ace came to Wano to kill Kaido. So
my dude Ace, man.
So I mean, I'm okay with it, but I'm not at the same time. We're at 999 next week and 1,000 the week after. I really don't want a flashback. Although Oda could drop some fire in the flashback, which could make it worth it, but I was more so hoping for maybe an arrival of a new party on Wano, or maybe even the just Kaido versus Luffy standoff. What do you think about this flashback coming up, or it's most likely going to be a flashback?
I understand why you're not the biggest fan of it, but to be fair to Oda, he's been setting this up from time. He's been setting up the appearance of the Whitebeard pirates. The first, like one of the first crews to ever talk about coming to Wano was a Whitebeard pirate, Ace. So he's been setting this up for a while, and now he's talking about why Ace came. And it actually makes more sense now because there was a theory. About them. I think Brago mentioned this, but he mentioned how come none of the Whitebeard pirates, none at all, came to check up on Odin, right? So none at all, which is kind of weird, but like it's one of those things that you just let by. But now there's actually a chance for an explanation of a reason as to why Ace probably did go over there, and he probably, I don't know what's going to happen next. There's an explanation as to why the Whitebeard pirates didn't go to Wano before. That might be a great explanation for it, because if Ace fought Kaido, I don't know, man. This opens up so much possibilities that I'm excited to read, and I don't think it'll detract too much for what Oda has in store for us for chapter 1000.
I like the optimism for sure. That's good positive energy. So, yep, I will take some of that positive energy myself because I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to set the bar too high. But you are right. Oda always delivers, and he's been setting up Ace in Wano for a long time. Marco made a very slight comment about him not knowing that the situation on Wano was even that bad. So we will definitely know why the Whitebeard pirates didn't come save their boy. And I mean, Ace and Luffy are very similar, so there's a very good chance that Ace did find out about Odin's life, and you see how Luffy's very invested in doing that. Ace was probably the same way, but once again, it was a pretty good chapter. The Reddit thread had a lot of hype, and I unfortunately don't think that chapter lived up to that amount of hype. But it was a very good chapter. I enjoyed reading it. Didn't seem like it was too short, and we got the introduction of some nice Zoan. So we will see, Foodie, if they even have a hybrid form. We can finally put this discussion to rest very soon. So that I'm excited for. That will be fun to see.
Rate it before we leave. You got to rate the chapter because you're going against Reddit, man.
It's a 7 for me. I think last week was an 8. This is a 7. This is a 7, bro. Last week we got Kaido lifting the island. To me, that was a great feat, man. And this, I don't know. Zoro taking out a supernova. There's a bit more action last week.
Supernova. What?
We're not gonna get into this.
We're
not gonna get into this. All right, he hurt a supernova. I don't know. I just feel like last week was I don't know. This is a 7. Right. 7's not bad, but last week was
not 8. 7's not bad. I'm gonna give it an 8. I like the fact that all the Tobiropo devil fruits have been listed, and I like the fact that we're setting up to really understand ancient Zoans. And I also like the fact that he dropped in that last little chapter. I don't think it's going to be a flashback though. If it's a flashback, it sucks. Okay. I get your word, but I like the fact that he dropped the mention of Ace at the end. So I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. And last thing before we take off here, I kind of wanted to pick your brain on this one. Do you think that the Straw Hats will lose, including Luffy? Is this going to be one of those? Is that going to be the tragedy? Because we all know that it follows a certain style of play. And this act is set to end in tragedy or a great tragedy. So do you think the Straw Hats just aren't going to be ready for these Zoans? Are they going to take this L before coming back again stronger? Or do you think that this is all going to end through a series of long fights moving forward?
I don't know why well, I do know why, but there's the assumption that this is going to end in tragedy and then the Straw Hats kind of come back and then get stronger and fight again or whatever that might be. But I don't think Oda is setting it up like that. I think he's setting it up more so that only the end of New Onigashima and the destruction of the flower capital is the end of part 3. That's what I think he's setting it up for. That'll be the end of Act 3. And then it's going to trickle down to a bunch of people. I will admit I was wrong. I thought originally it was going to end at Onigashima, that's it. But clearly it's not. It's probably going to get transferred to the flower capital. But I think what happens after it lands to the flower capital is going to be a deciding factor. I think Kaido and Big Mom need to be wounded more. But we could make a whole new video about this one, man. We could make a whole new video.
That's true. That is it, man. I mean, anything in One Piece we can talk about forever. But that being said, that was a great episode. Thank you for joining in. Again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to us. We're just getting started here. And I think that's it.
That's it. See you guys.
Later.